Hello? How's it going? Oh, we're live again. I cannot shut the heck up. I don't have any water or coffee or nothing. What the hell? I have nothing. I have no water. I have a gallon of... No, I don't even have a gallon of water. I am ill prepared in this truck. Ill prepared. Oh well. Daniel Adami, why are you always first? You must not have a life. Let's see. I'm in a truck. You remember that? You remember that scene from? If you guys have ever seen that movie, was it Nightmare Before Christmas? When the pumpkin dude was like in Christmas land, and he's like picking things up. He's like, "What's this? What's this?" And he's like singing. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, what's all this? I got this tablet thingamajigger that's like got numbers on it. I've got this weird thing that makes noise. I have this stick thing in the middle of my floorboard. I have no idea what that does. I have these air things that causes this large vehicle to make air noises, and it's very loud, and I mean, I'm just like, I'm all confused. And I'm looking at the e-log because, here's something that you guys got to know, all right? If you are this is safety manager Snorelord telling you this, okay? You cannot use personal conveyance to take your truck to the shop. You can't do that. That is a no-no. So you have to show on duty. You have to show driving. So I had to put myself on duty. And when I looked at my e-log, I was off for 661 hours. 661 hours I was off duty. I think I got my reset in. What do you guys think? Right? Who is this, Fail Rider? Oh, man. And, yeah, so, I mean, I'm like, literally, like, I'm in a truck, and it's weird. I had to fix my camera. You guys want to see my camera system? So, that's the that's the Samsara camera. That's my pre-pass. That's my easy pass. That's my K-tag. And that's my own dash cam, which is a Rexing. I don't know if you guys can see that. Focus. There we go. It's not going to focus. My screen. Pale Rider, and look, Transland must be getting new trucks because they've got a bunch over here. So that's Transland's colors. I know Transland got new trucks. They got, what's that? An international. So you're always off duty. Yeah, so and one of our drivers is in Stratford, but it's funny. So I called this place yesterday. I said, "Hey, I need new steers. You got them in?" Da 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 da. And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, all right, cool. We got a 4-hour wait. I'm like, all right, I'll be in the morning. So I get here right when they open. They're like, "Oh, there's 2 people ahead of you." There's nobody else here. There's one truck. There's one truck there. We got these Yahoos, but these are new trucks. They don't need new tires. What the hell? So, yeah. So I'm annoyed because it's first come first serve. Yet that guy, I think that guy's getting an alignment because that's the alignment bay. So, and then hopefully one of these steers that I'm replacing is going to be a good enough tire to put on my spare tire rack. And I have a rim now, so it'll be a full-blown spare tire and rim. So, oh, don't be depressed, Daniel. I understand what you're going through. I've been in those shoes. Let's see. Let's do some shout-outs because you guys love that. Big Houston, Pill Rider TV, DIY, Trucking and More, GNC Family Trucking. It's not your fault you get the notification first. Bob G, Thomas Wilson, Daryl Worth, good morning. Nothing Witty is first. Say that 5 times fast. This week is a 72-65 week. Heck yeah, better than 2 weeks ago. I'm hoping that's why he never works. I'm hoping, hey TJ, Scott SRO, the rookie is back to work. Who is this? Fire Marshal Bill. Let's see. Shadow Wolf's in the house. I'm always off duty. My son just got picked up. I already read that, but I'll be okay. Good. I am annoyed. I rob people of their pizza. But what was I saying? So anyways, I got here and so I'll have hopefully I'll have a good enough tire, but there's a wobble. I did all this work on the front end and there's still a freaking wobble. But I did get new tie rods. You guys want to see what I got done with the truck? Here, let's show you guys. Let's turn the sound off. Oh, it is off. Okay. All right, let's. They did an alignment on my truck when I had but they wrote all over it. Can you believe that? But these are, I got these things new. That's all new. That's new, all the new shocks. And then I got new tie rods in the front. I got all new things. I'm not opening the hood though. You guys can get over it. Look at the lovely field. And yeah, so 661 hours off. And what's the first thing I do in this truck is sit and wait. Trucking is a lot of sitting and waiting. They said it's going to be about an hour and a half. So why not waste some time with you guys, right? Why not waste some time with you guys? Because you guys are great time wasters. I know you are. Now, at least I didn't use the whole, I'm getting a new truck thing like I always do. Big Rig CO, hi Steve, fake it till you make it. Yes, that is true. Fake it till you make it. And I am faking the fact that I'm a truck driver. I'm sitting here in my truck telling you everything that you need to know, pretending I have a business, and pretending I know what the hell I'm talking about, and getting my YouTube numbers up. That's what we're doing. Because that's the gist. I'm going to tell you about trucking without being a truck driver. That's what I'm going to do, because that's what we do here. In our world, in our YouTubes. I'm actually in a driveway, so people are like, oh, Steve does live feeds from his truck in the driveway. I'm in a driveway. I'm not under a load. I am off duty now, so there's that. But James Hensley 101. Oh, when I had the phone on black screen, yeah. But anyways. So I hope that Big Rig CO, I think he's on his first voyage under his own numbers. So congratulations to him. And yeah, so hopefully my tires on my trailer have not rotted. And I'm hoping to book something. I should be looking for a load right now, but I'm not. I'm live because I forgot how to look for a load. I forgot how to do that. I forgot how to book a load. I don't even have my notebook. I'm just all kinds of disheveled here. That's it. So I gotta be put back in business mode, because the things that I've been dealing with at home, I've literally not thought about trucking for 661 hours. So, and that was like from the time that this truck was fixed to now, whereas there was like a week before that, or no, 3 days before that I was off. So but yeah. So that's what's it, man. That's what's up. We're sitting here. You're wasting my time, so I'm wasting yours. Or they're wasting my time, so I'm going to waste yours. And I don't think there's going to be any redeeming value to this video whatsoever. Unless you guys bring something up that creates a discussion. This video is completely pointless, useless. It is for your entertainment only, and I don't even think I'm doing a good job at that. So we're not informative. We're not entertaining. I don't have any coffee, so I can't call it Morning Coffee Live. They might have free coffee in there. Might do that. But the last time I did that, it was like, you know. What am I? I'm not sipping on anything. I have an empty cup holder here. I have one cup holder with pens and combs and stuff. And I have an empty cup holder right here. I don't even have any water. So if there's anybody in Stratford, Missouri, please bring me a Big Rig CO. You've brought me coffee. There's a Love's right down the road. Bring me some coffee like you did that last time I was getting a tire fixed. So Big Rig CEO, step it up. I had my coffee this morning at the house there, Pill Rider. And Pigtail, what's up? Non-business mode is a great feeling. Life is too short. I agree with you, TJ, but the bank account's getting a little thin now. And the truck did something weird earlier. It does not sit well with me. I was sitting there getting on the on-ramp to the interstate, and there was a delay. Like there was like a cough. A silent cough. And I'm hoping that's not a fuel injector just trying to do anything. Pigtail, I appreciate positive vibes. Big Rig CEO is in Indiana. That is no excuse. I need my coffee now. Send one of your minions to do it. You have many minions. Your channel is almost at my level as far as subscriber count, but your channel's got more views, I think. Because I don't talk about Snyder or anything anymore. I guess I could talk about Snyder, but then I'd be one of those guys that talks about a company that I'm not even at. So that's no bueno. Like, you know, I could do a comparison. I could do a video where I'm comparing Swift to Werner, even though I've never worked for either one of those. I can do that and pretend I know what I'm talking about and then demand you guys to give me super chats. I can do that. Because that seems to be a YouTube thing too. So. Big Rig CEO going for the jugular there. Well, you got me there. I am ashamed. I am very, very ashamed. That's true. That's true. You know, if Jeff was a true good boss, he would be bringing me coffee right now. He would send his driver, who's over in Stratford, and have him bring me coffee. He could do that, but he won't. He doesn't like me either. He didn't even buy me steak the last time. He bought a Keto Guy pizza the last time I saw Jeff. And so, you know, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get. So anyways, I'll be looking for a load for the weekend. I got to be back by Tuesday, ironically, because of a doctor's appointment, because I couldn't push that. But, you know, when you go to Walmart, you got to wear a bulletproof vest. Thoughts? Oh, okay. So what Rick is referring to is there's a Walmart literally a block from my house, okay? Literally. And I shop there. When I'm at home, I'm in there at least once or twice a week. And when my wife does the grocery shopping, she'll go to one store first, and then she'll go into that Walmart to get the things that she couldn't get at Aldi's. And so we're in and out of that store all the time. My son goes in there before work sometimes to get, you know, something for, you know, on his way to work. And so I'm sitting there thumbing through Facebook, and there was a shooting at that particular Walmart yesterday. Now, it's funny because people are like, oh, Steve, you're being paranoid that you got to carry a gun with you as you go walk around Springfield. No, Springfield's getting bad, people. We're turning into like Little Rock or something. I think we're like, hey, Little Rock, check it out. Check this out. We're gonna be like you. And from the rumor wagon, what it was there's a FedEx driver that was delivering pharmaceuticals to the pharmacy there, and he got jumped and shot in the chest, and I don't know if he survived or not. I was not able to watch the evening news last night because I was busy, and I have yet to follow up on any reports. And they did arrest the guy who did it because the live raw footage showed a guy in handcuffs being put in the back of a police car. So, Pigtail, you're in Springfield tomorrow? Well, if I'm still here, we'll hang out. We'll have dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever. But if I'm not here, it's because I'm working. Maybe we'll have a little convoy. We'll have a little convoy going wherever the hell I'm going to go. I-70 East closed of East Indy. 2 rigs couldn't decide who had the right of way coming into construction. That whole, look, Indianapolis is a big cluster. It's like Memphis. Like Indianapolis and Memphis are like, hey man, we're going to rebuild the entire city. And I went through that twice. And I going through Indianapolis in a Penske truck was awesome because I could be in the third lane. And so being in the third lane makes it a lot easier to get through Indy, but that construction zone between Indianapolis and that rest area is just, I don't know why people don't know how to handle that. It's a straight road. It's a straight road. It bottlenecks for a second. It's not that difficult. And the level of driving skill that I've seen decrease in the last 3 years. I think the vid 19, I think what it did is it made everybody go, I forgot how to drive. And now they're either doing 40 or 80 on the interstate. And they're either doing 40 or 80 in construction zones. And they're racing. I got passed by a Camaro, a Challenger, and a Charger all racing each other as I was going through St. Louis yesterday. So that was interesting. Little Rock has bad shootings every day. Pale Rider, we're kind of getting there. Get the band fired up, tour the state, get a reputation back, see what happens. Nothing will happen. They're changing things at Schneider for the spot side, and they are now assigning reps like CH. Huh. You know what? Let's talk about that, Chucky. I like that. I like having a rep, as long as you get a good rep. Because CH Robinson, we had a rep here that was like amazing. Me, Harold, and James Best, and Mike Mentor, we were all making money off this guy. And he pretty much kept me busy. I mean, I just pretty much said, I still chose where I wanted to go, but he would look 1 or 2 loads ahead. So I was able to stay booked ahead, which was important at that time because you weren't getting away with booking at the last minute back at that time. And then they changed reps, and the next guy, he could give 2 poops about anything. And then the guy we got now, he's all right, but he's not proactive on, hey, I can get you out of this place when you go here. He's not really proactive about that. But I do get good rates out of them, so that's important. And they do have a lot of and at one point they had a lot of the freight I like doing, because the freight I like doing a lot of the same stuff. So sometimes it changes brokers' hands, especially when I'm doing the short haul stuff. And it's interesting to see that, I'll do something for one broker for a while, and then all of a sudden it disappears, and I look, and another broker's got it. And so I call them to get the same rate, and they're like, nope, can't do it. I'm like, okay, so you undercut the other broker, and now you're having trouble moving this load. And I've literally said, hey, you know what? I'm your guy. I do these all the time. Put me at this rate, and you can almost make me dedicated. No, 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 can't do it because we got to swing for the fences every single time. We got to swing for the fences. Brokers got to swing for the fences. They want that 50% profit if they can get it, you know, which I don't blame them because we're doing the same thing. So reality doesn't have to be reality. Just got load pushed out, so not really on Snyder. Great Freight Sage Logic. Hey. So, you know, it's just, I got to be in strategy mode again. Not sure what I'm going to do for this weekend. A couple of click and goes had something I kind of wouldn't mind doing, but getting back would be a challenge by Tuesday. So, I don't know. There's a lot of options. I haven't even looked. Let's see what that board is showing. Let's see. Edit. Springfield. We're doing live spot market money now. Let's do a 100-mile radius to anywhere for tomorrow. I ain't working today. Let's see, search. There are 260 loads. That's not a bad number. Let's see what the highest rate is. Highest rate is Carthage to Puyallup, Washington for $51.50. For 2,000 miles. Meridian, Idaho. I've been there. Republic, Missouri, Meridian, $38.50. Let's see. Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. Let's go back to the Northeast. That's $3,400. Let's see. What's 150? No, we'll do it. So there's a lot of options. I can go to Nebraska for 3,000. That's not bad. For 761 miles. But what am I going to get out of Nebraska? Probably nothing. Damn corn huskers. Tracy, California. Okay, so this is how messed up things are, right? So I can go 761 miles to Alliance, Nebraska for $3,000, or I can go all the way to California for $2,800. That's literally 2.5 times the miles. Oh, but Steve, you're going to get that rate coming out of California. That's true, but what if I don't? Well, number one, if I don't, I'm an idiot. But number two, I don't even go to California, so that's not even an option. Here's a load to Jacksonville. I've done that load. Rogers, Arkansas to Jacksonville. Last time I did it, though, I did it for $4,200. They only want $28. So it shows you just how volatile things are. And it wasn't for that particular broker. Here's Bismarck, North Dakota, Cascade, $2,400 for 915 miles. You're probably talking about the 26 or 28. I can go to Phoenix for $2,400 for Swift. No, thank you. Convoy's got a load to Fremont, Ohio. That's a good rate. So there's all kinds of things. I might look that one up on the Convoy app. It's pretty, a lot of people are like, well, Steve, you need to stretch your legs. Okay, so I can do Joplin to Fremont, Ohio for $2,350, or I can do Joplin to Fontana, California for $2,300. Wonder which I'm going to do. Here's San Antonio for $2,200. Here's Joplin to Columbus. Oh man, I hate that broker though. Here's a Branson to Lima, Ohio. Then I could probably grab a Lima, Ohio to Fulton, Missouri, and that would be a $4,000 round trip for the weekend. That might be bad. That might not be bad. There's money to be made. So this is the first time I've looked at this thing for like, well, 661 hours. So, let's see here. Got to roll. I'll be listening. Okay, Pale Rider. Supposed to get a lot of storms the next few days up in Michigan, close to 2 inches by the end possible. Why are Kenworth W9s more expensive than T680s? T680s look more luxurious from the outside. It's because W900s are tougher. Yes, and there's a higher demand for those. No, that's not right. That's not true. They're more of a specialty truck, whereas a T680 is more of a fleet truck. Fleet trucks are always cheaper than specialty trucks. Seeing California now until I can get an onions load out. Are you a flatbedder there running Aces? Just make sure you leave your trailer at the Arizona-California border, Snorelord. Yeah, I'm not going to California. Going to be talking with the broker tomorrow about what we were seeing in the market. Good deal. I hate California and I live here. I was actually born in California, believe it or not. And people are like, oh, that explains a lot about you. You're in North Dakota right now. Well, I've got a very good friend that runs in and out of North Dakota because he lives there. Yep, flatbed onions are terrible to haul, but the rate they're offering, I'll suck it up. Yeah, don't you got to like tarp the top of them to keep the dust off of them? Is that how that works? Cash is king. Good morning. Hey now. You must be a Howard Stern fan. Hey now. If you can get a load to Michigan, they have some loads back to your area this weekend. That might be a thing, GNC. I like going to Clearwater. I like the Walmart there. Isn't there a Myers in Lansing? Is it Lansing? They aren't too bad. They can take a little bit longer sometimes. But I did local when I was training. My trainer's truck had to be put in the shop for a week. And so he took vacation time and put me up with one of Transland's day cab guys. And I learned more in that week about the physical driving of a truck than I did with my trainer. Now, don't get me wrong, my trainer was a good trainer, but there's really not much to go over when you're not doing a whole lot of backing or whatever. And my highway etiquette was already there because of my dad. So the backing and the shifting was the big thing, and put myself in stressful situations, which, I was used to putting big vehicles down the city because of the school bus. I know it's not as big, but, the principle's still the same. So, but I did it for 2 weeks. Would I want to do it as a career? No. I looked into a day cab job, and a friend of mine went and did that, and he was running 15-hour days because he had to cheat a little bit and work third shift and had to work weekends. So he had more time off as an OTR driver than he did as a day cab driver, which I did a video about that. So out of Grand Rapids, yes, Lansing. Okay, so I had that right. The tarp and onions is not for the dust, it's so they won't dry out and burn from. Oh, okay. See, I learn something new every day. Tarp the top, which is a pain because it makes the air want to catch the tarps. If it rains, though, you've got to put all the tarps down and then back up afterwards. Yeah, that would be a pain. So, yeah, because you can't tarp them completely because that heat is really bad for them, right? I do know that. Big Rig CO was a flatbedder at one time, and he taught me things about onions and tarping and stuff like that. Not enough that I could tarp something, but enough. He told me enough tarp stories. I was like, wow, that must suck. And then I just kind of laughed at him and I was done with it. So, and again, I am not a flatbedder in no shape, way, or form. For you guys that do that, kudos to you. You are awesome. I am not. So there's that. I just love the fact that I can go clunk and I'm done, right? Maybe throw a strap across something, if it needs it. Other than that, I'm trying to figure out which direction I want to go. And we're getting, hey, Big Rick CO, I'm getting Centromatics, by the way. Don't stop at the Loves in Gary, Indiana. They are fixing all the showers. Does that mean they've got the whole, as long as you're not showering in Gary, Indiana, it should be pretty good. Yeah, you can't keep them fully tarped for a while, though, because the gases they release will cook them while you drive. And that shows the toxicity of vegetables. Just saying. What do you do if there's no parking at a truck stop and you can't legally drive no more? You're going to go in the violation. And then when you get DOT'd and they see that violation, you need to explain. I couldn't find parking. Back in the paper days, what a lot of people didn't realize is that falsifying your logs was worse than actually a true time violation. Because if you show that you went 15 minutes over your time because of a parking situation or whatever, that shows you're being honest. But if you falsify the logs and they figure it out, then none of it's valid. And then once you go over your time and you have that violation, then the safety guy calls you and says, "Hey, dude, what's up? You gotta figure this out. You gotta learn how to trip plan." And so you gotta just keep it together. But and also, as Daniel pointed out, you can make your own spot. You do what they call improvised parking. And just be sure the next morning that you're able to move your truck to a real parking spot, so you're not that guy out in the middle of the parking lot for no reason. Like for example, I see it at the Sapp Brothers in Harrisonville all the time. People park in the middle there when the spots get full, and they'll get there at like 2 a.m, and then like at 7 a.m. everybody's left, so you just have one truck sitting out there looking like a dork. There's something to be said to let it creep into a real parking spot, so you're not in everybody's way until your time's up. That Loves in Gary used to be a Flying J, and it needed the shower remodel. The fuel pumps in store are still open. The best place to go in Gary, Indiana is the Petro, because that is the corporate headquarters. And so that Petro is on it. It's nice all the time. It's a nice big empty parking lot. I will forego a fuel discount when I was at Schneider to go into that Petro, because sometimes it's just worth the $15 I might save to just not deal with pilots BS. Oh yeah, we already read that. And I've done that. When now I'll fuel it. When I was at Schneider, our main discount was Flying J and Pilot, obviously. But if I was in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, I'm going to Petro. Screw the fuel discount, or I would fuel at the yard. Dallas, Texas, I would fuel at the yard. I wouldn't deal with the Flying J. See where else? Indianapolis. What's the best thing to eat at a truck stop? Chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes. If that floats your boat. If you can even find that. Most truck stops are not truck stops anymore. They're convenience stores with fast food restaurants attached to them. So if you're going to get biscuits and gravy, or chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes or whatever, you're going to have to do that at Denny's. I don't even know if Denny's has chicken fried steak. Yeah, I think they do. But making your own spot in a full lot or rest area is an unsung art of the industry. Yeah, and you got to do it in a way that doesn't put your truck in jeopardy and doesn't like block someone else in. I'm very conscious when I park that I make sure that I'm not in a spot that I can be kind of blocked in um, early in the morning, especially if I'm leaving at like 4 or 5 in the morning, which is what I tend to usually try to run. I usually try to run early first shift. Have you ever been to South Texas? If so, what cities? I've been to Laredo. I've been to Brownsville. You know, it's another border. Help me out, Daniel. Which one is that? Um, I've been down there. I've been to El Paso. I've been all over South Texas. You always stop at Petro and Gary. Yeah, it's a nice Petro. I haven't been to Corpus Christi, and that's pretty much it. I've been everywhere else. I've been to El Paso, Laredo, Brownsville. Okay, thank you, Daniel. One of my best paying loads was out of Brownsville, Texas. I took a load it was for Landstar. I took a load to Brownsville and then pulled a load out of there, a hazmat load out of there. So no deadhead. And that load went from Brownsville, Texas to Springfield, Ohio. And then that same agent had a connecting load going from Springfield, Ohio to Springfield, Missouri. It was perfect. So I went from, I think, somewhere east, I think it was Indiana, to Brownsville, Texas, to Springfield, Ohio, back to Springfield, Missouri. So that was a good run. Do I remember? I was saying in the beginning of this RD was, you know that scene in the Nightmare Before Christmas, where the pumpkin dude is like in Christmas Town, and he's seen all these things he hasn't seen before. It's like, what's this? You know, that's kind of how I was. I was sitting there like, where all these weird things and these weird gauges and these weird noises and this stick in the middle of the floor, and you know, and I'm so high up. I mean, the car that I drove from New York to Missouri was like a Volkswagen Passat. Nice car, nice and roomy. It felt like a Camaro. It felt like a sports car. It was a near beer Porsche, I think. And yeah, to go from that to this has been kind of extreme. Be a real man, kill a deer with your truck and eat. That almost happened on our trip. That almost happened. Do you have any of your high school yearbooks? Yes, I do. He's just doing video in the driveway. I am, RD. Chucky's right. I am. I'm here at the tire shop. So wasting time. So looking at Transland's new internationals that they just got in. So if I have to make my own spot and I have to block someone, I put up a sign on my window saying, ask me nicely to move and I'll gladly move for you. If not, then I won't move. Daniel, you should block people in. You know, these days, you never know. That might make someone want to pull your pin or slice your airlines or something, you know? People are being buttheads these days. But I do remember how to drive. Now, my truck will probably go in the shock. My truck will be like, hey, what are you doing? So I might have to ease into my first load. That's the beauty of self-dispatch is I rarely put myself in a position where I have to max out my hours and I have to drive, 650 miles and shut down at 2 in the morning. I never put myself in that situation because I choose where I go. And on occasion I've done overnights, like one time I was at a shipper in Dallas and they were taking too long, so once I showed 8 hours, actually I showed 10 hours. I went to bed. They said I could spend the night on the lot. So I literally started my clock at 1 in the morning and then drove because, and I barely got it there in time. It had to be in Bentonville, I think, by 8 a.m. or something like that. And I made it work. But for the most part, I don't put myself in a situation where unless now there's an unless in there. Unless I know that I could spend the night at the customer. And that's the beauty of knowing your customers, is that I can, a load that might look impossible on paper can actually be done because I can get to the customer and spend the night there and be fine. That is the only way I do that. But for the most part, I'm not putting myself where I got to shut down at midnight at a truck stop, unless I know that the truck stop is big or I can reserve a spot. And that's where reserving spots. You got to have a budget in your business model for reserved spots. If you're new to trucking, I highly suggest creating accounts with all the big chain truck stops and making sure that you can pay for parking online so you can get that done before you get there. And that's where Love's has decided a different model. They don't have reserved parking, but they do have more truck stops now. So, but and then you have situations like the Love's in Searcy. If you get there at 8 o'clock at night, you're probably not going to find a spot, or you're going to have to deal with someone taking their hood out because they don't, it's one of those ones that don't give you quite enough swing room. But there's a $10 paid lot right across the street that could be done. And so I'll hit that. I have no problem giving that dude $10 to let me park in a gravel driveway. So if I buy another truck in the future, will it be another Kenworth? It'll either be a Kenworth or a Mack or a Volvo. It will not be International. It will not be Freightliner. Morning, Desert Okie. Besides metal, what do you listen to? I listen to Viking music like Wardruna, Merker, a bunch of names that I can't even pronounce. I listen to a wide variety. I have, every now and then I'll listen to old country. I don't listen to a whole lot of jazz. I don't listen to a whole lot of classical. I don't listen to any hip hop or rap and any of that stuff. I'm not into the normal top 40 dance crap. Mainly metal, hard rock. I like a lot of, what they call stoner rock, which is like basically Black Sabbath ripoff stuff. I like a lot of doom metal. But the non-metal stuff is all Viking music, I do like 80 songs. My sister rode with me for part of the trip on the way back to Missouri, and we played, how many 80s tunes can we play? And that's the presets on my satellite. 1 is liquid metal, 2 is Ozzy's Boneyard, 3 is 80s on 8, 4 is the new wave channel that Pale Rider likes, and then Howard Stern, the trucking channel, and probably some news crap after that. I hate Culture Club, but I like Duran Duran. I like jazz, like Miles Davis. I could appreciate jazz. Look, the thing that I appreciate jazz the most is the time signatures and the drumming. There are jazz drummers that you watch an old jazz drummer from the 50s doing stuff that death metal drummers are barely learning today. So, I mean, and a lot of thrash and death metal drummers, when they get older, they still want to play more complex music, so they'll go into jazz. There's a lot of crossover. There's a band called Cynic, CYNIC, who incorporate jazz fusion with with death metal, and it's a pretty decent mix. From what I hear about the grapevine, Volvo is going all automatic or automated transmission. So if you like a stick transmission, I would stay away from Mack Volvo trucks. I look, I've never, the only experience I've had driving an automatic was James' best truck during the 20 mile per hour convoy. But that's it. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that says you're not a real truck driver if if you're driving automated. I know a lot of guys that went automated that would never go back. If I had to choose an automated, I believe the Mack Volvo has the best one because it's very similar to a car. Because what I do know about the earlier automated transmissions is when you were backing, it was all or none. You couldn't feather it going back, so you were either not at the dock good enough or you were slamming it into the dock. And I experienced that with James' best truck. I was rehooking his trailer for him, and I literally probably almost put the trailer through the back of the cab. You just made my wife very happy. How did I do that? I didn't do it. You missed my last comment, Snorelord. If you haven't seen CR England hit me, here's the video. Okay, yes, I did see that. And that sucks. How bad was the damage, Daniel? What's the estimate? Like Buddy Rich, yep. Is Volvo on strike? I have no idea. Isn't Peterbilt better than the Volvo? Look, all the truck manufacturers are the same. So you want to get the truck with the best warranty because they're all going to fail at one point. Reliability is a basis of opinion, it seems like, especially with fleet trucks. Now, if I was going to go all out custom, money was no object, I would probably pick, a nice either T680 or a W9, or switch back and forth between the W990 and the 680, like that movie Ice Road. I would that's what I would want to do. I would want a W990 to go down the road with, but if I had to get in a truck battle and on the ice, I would want a 680. You saw Duran Duran open for Bowie once? That must have been cool. Was there a lot of screaming girls? Because my sister told me that she went and saw Duran Duran and couldn't hear the band because there were so many girls screaming. People think it's all about shifting gears. It's not true. There's more to it. I think that if I had to hold fast to wanting a stick shift, it would be for control. Like for downhill descents or rocking it in the snow or whatever. But that would be the only reservation I would have of getting an automated, is I have no experience with an automated transmission. I've always had a 10-speed. So, but I do idolize the automated transmissions when I'm in a traffic jam. Like when I went through the traffic jam in Indy in a rental car, guess what? Not a big deal because my left leg was like, "What's up, man? We're good." So you heard Freightliner, Peterbilt, Kenworth, and Mack are the best trucks out there. Again, matter of opinion. And it also depends on what you're hauling. If you're hauling generic dry van freight, W9's a little overkill. But if you're hauling specialized freight, W9 with a 18-speed with a performance series instead of the efficiency series, that's the truck you want. But if you're just hauling generic dry van freight and you want no frills, you don't care about the truck, then and also the Freightliner might do. Now it also depends on the dealership and the shops around your area. Like I would be more inclined to own a Peterbilt if I lived near Dallas versus Kenworth. I would be more inclined to own a Freightliner if I was in Houston than I would Kenworth. But this area, I'm more inclined to own a Freightliner or not a Freightliner, a Mack or a Kenworth. Let's see. Ice road was so bad. I mean, who the hell thinks it's a good idea to tether trucks together on a road that can sink underneath you? Right. That's not even. I mean, you can't have them that close to each other. Mr. Bill, good morning, Steve. I just read that Jeff LaBar from Cinderella passed away. Did you know him? No, I did not know him. And I'm not even sure. Was he on the first two albums? Because that's the only albums I ever had from Cinderella. Robot Mac is owned and built by Volvo. So all Mack trucks are glorified Volvo trucks. That is true, Robert Daniel. I relinquished that information to an old school driver, and his head blew up because he was on the CB radio talking about how Freightliner and Volvos were crap. The only real trucks out here were Kenworth, Peterbilt, and Mack. And a bunch of us proceeded to educate him that Mack is owned by Volvo and made by Volvo, and he called us a bunch of names and did not take that news very lightly. If you're hauling a dry van freight and don't give a hoot about the truck, a KW T680 is the way to go. Look at RD. I like the 680s the best. When these first came out in 2014, and I wanted one from the moment I saw it. And so the Transland, they put me in the new ones that they just bought, and I love the truck. But I was getting ready to leave and buy my own truck. And so I knew that it wouldn't be on the used market. I couldn't afford a new truck at the time. And so I wasn't about to take that risk, because if I had, I would have probably gone under years ago, because I'm dumb. But so I knew that once these hit the used market, I was going to want one. And sure enough, what do I got? A 2014 T680. So now the newer 680s are better built, a little bit different configuration under the hood, a couple of small differences, but they're still the same truck nonetheless. Now the new 680s, those new second gen 680s, those look pretty sharp. Well, I kind of want one of those. But the cool thing, shifting gears, whether it's a semi or sports car, gives that engagement that an automatic will never do. That is true, Rick. That is true. I live in Southwest Virginia, and I would prefer Kenworth because we have more dealerships near me versus Volvo. Yep, there you go. Funny trash, I'm sitting in a 17 T6A, but wishing I was in a Freightliner Cascadia Evo. What's actually better, long hood Pete or long hood Ken W9, or are they both pretty much the same overall? It just depends on preference. It's preference. The W9 is a little bit more aerodynamic on top, because if you get the raised sleeper with the raised fin on top, that I think that looks a little bit better, so you got more stand-up room. But I've been in the big hood Peterbilt, and it was roomier than I thought. I mean, it was. So it's a personal preference. So Pete is better. 660 is basically a 660 is built like a 990 or 900, but it's got a narrow hood. There's not much cab space in a 660, but a 680, you have all kinds of cab room. It's a night and day difference in the truck, in both performance and the room inside and outside. Like the steering radius of a 660 is like an aircraft carrier. 680 is a little bit shorter, so. But if you talk to Peterbilt owners, they will tell you they're not the same. You know, because the Kenworth's better. So there's that. The W900 has also drop floor in the sleeper, and this 379 and 389 has a flatter hood. Yes, that's true. Old truckers never die. They get their sentences finished. And Robert's right. It also depends what you're hauling. You know, as Daniel Adami can attest, you don't get great fuel mileage with a flat top running dry van. But if you're a tanker and you have a flat top, that's awesome because now you're not worried about 13.6 anymore. I'm not sure what the height is, but you can go lower than that. But if you have a T680 condo, whatever, then and you still haul a tanker, then that's kind of a lot of wasted space. Would I ever do a straight truck, like drive a dump truck or cement truck? It would depend on the situation. I hated the cab space when I was in the box truck, the Penske box truck. But I like the fact that I wasn't worried about where I was going. You know, the height on that truck was 10.6, so I wasn't worried about anything. Studio sleepers are just the nicest trucks on the road, right? Yeah, and that's true. The 680 is a cross between 660 and the 700. It was like kind of like the best of both worlds. And I drove a 660 for 2.5 years. And I had a love-hate relationship with that truck. At this point, I'd rather have me a Peterbilt 389 or a Kenworth W900 with this fuel mileage I'm getting. Right, Daniel? I agree with you. But I talked to a guy at Kenworth, MHC Kenworth, the last time I was getting my truck worked on. And after the payoff on his other truck and the new he was paying $200,000 for a W900. Like, geez, I hope you're making some killer money to afford that. Southern Rider, are you going to finish your sentence? I think that's a famous saying that I'm supposed to know, but yeah, I mean, look at Robot with all the good questions. I love wasting my time. And no one's brought me coffee yet, so I'm very disappointed. I've shown you guys where I'm at. I told you guys where I'm at. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Yes. Yes, Robot, I can. One you see later, the other one you see after a while. Everybody knows that. I'm seriously thinking about selling my truck and opening a pizza restaurant. Trashy Trucker Show, I feel you. I feel you. As long as you have the ability to survive another shutdown if it happens. Which, you know, they keep threatening this, you know, these variants and stuff like that. I could sell this truck and trailer, cash out, pay off my debt, and start the business that I want to start if I wanted to right now. Would I make any money? Probably not, but nonetheless. Since last Friday, I've put $1,654 in fuel, and we'll be putting some more fuel in later on today, so I'll be at $2,000 in fuel since Friday. Kaislin, I'm with you, man. Daniel, you gotta learn fuel conservation. Okay, so how much is one of them wing things to put on top of your truck, Daniel? What was the cost on that? I know you're pricing it for a minute. The difference in what you pay for fuel would pay for that fin thing. 100%. Pizza joint and go delivery. Yeah, as long as you have an online presence where people can order their stuff online, and you can do curbside and delivery, which delivery you can do it Little Caesar style where they don't actually deliver the pizza themselves. They use DoorDash or a similar service. Then you're good to go. But the online presence is important. Make it easy for people to get online and click 2 buttons and have a pizza. Open a hot dog cart in the right spot, you can make a killing. That is true. Getting someone to give you permission to do that, that is the challenge there. I'm doing my 4th 24-hour fast since listening to you. Oh no, Mr. Bill, awesome. I need to do one. I need to do, well, I guess today's Thursday, so I might just eat dinner and do one till tomorrow afternoon. I've changed my name from Kane to Undertaker as well. It's me. I know, Robert Robot. I can tell by the style of questions, and I can tell by the color of your icon. I would still have a red engine over a black engine any day of the week, especially where I live in the mountains of VA. Dana, are you talking about one of those West Virginia chicken wings or the whale tail? Where did Daniel answer it? No. And right now, if you got a truck, check this out. The truck market is so strapped for trucks that it would be easy to cash out. I mean, isn't that what Truckers Coach pretty much did? He cashed out pretty good. He cashed out ahead of what he owed on everything. You know, TJ Jones is offering me a lump sum for this truck and trailer. I know I could sell the trailer for literally double of what I owe on it right now as it sits. Okay, so $1,800, and you'll save about probably $400 or $500 a week in fuel at the rate that you're going. And I think it'll be paid for in a month. That's something I would throw on a credit card and then pay at the end of the month and have it done. And then that money you save from the fuel will go towards credit card. Boom, credit card's paid off in a month. You're good to go. Wouldn't really have a life, TJ. Pizza joints are open late and open 7 days a week, but with the way regulation and trucking's going, I'm just about over it. I'm with you, RD. Regardless if you own a truck or a pizza business, being a business owner is a 24/7 job. You know, there's no easy street unless you get to a certain point where you've got managers of the store, and even then. So just because you get out of the truck doesn't mean you'll get your life back. You're going to live and eat and breathe pizza, pretty much. Do you think we came from apes or cavemen? I think that the missing link is aliens that came down and had fun with one of the ape types, and boom, human was born. So both. Wouldn't really. Okay, I already read that. And technically, cavemen evolved from apes as well. So that's the missing link, is the aliens. Look, Martians destroy. Look, here's what really happened. You guys want to know the history of the world? Here we go. Mars was once like Earth, and they got stupid. They probably, you know, voted a bad liberal or something. There was nuclear war, decimated the planet. But before it happened, they decided, you know what, Earth looks pretty cool. Let's go check that out. And then they realized that in order to populate Earth, that they had to kind of do some mixed breeding kind of thing. And boom, here we are. They put those metal poles, what do they call them, from the movie 2001 Space Odyssey? And then that kind of made things happen, and boom, here we are. So we're basically Mars. We're a Mars colony is what we are. The only problem is that there's not another planet for us to colonize. So this is it, you know. Unless we figure out wormholes or time travel or something like that, and then we can like find something else somewhere else. Third rock from the sun, yes. And I saw video footage and pictures of, not video, pictures on a video of buildings on Mars. So it's on the internet, so it's got to be true. And then the moon, there's an alien colony up there that don't want us hanging out. So they just kind of observe and laugh at us. I ran one of those West Virginia chicken wings and without it and got the same fuel mileage. So it's just for looks only. Also had a friend run one of the whale tails and without it too. Got the same results basically. Oh, that sucks. Daniel just needs a new truck. All that fuel I've put out is out of pocket as well. Well, I mean, all fuel's out of pocket. Ain't nobody paying your fuel for you. I hate that movie so much that's the only movie I've ever seen that I was actually angry at. 2001 Space Odyssey. Probably talking about the ending. The ending makes you go, what? Stanley Kubrick, he's kind of a weirdo. Daniel, so you're paying out of pocket, so you'll have a bigger settlement. That doesn't make sense, Daniel. Okay, let's go back to the math we were doing yesterday. So if I book a load for 1,000, I'm getting 800 minus fuel. When Jeff invoices the load, he invoices for 1,000, pays me 800 minus fuel. If I make $800 and he doesn't send me any fuel deductions and I paid out of pocket, I'm still paying for that fuel. So you're essentially paying for fuel out of pocket so your settlements look bigger. That doesn't make sense, Daniel. If you have a fuel card, use it. Are you back at the place that didn't give you a fuel card or shut off your fuel card? Are you back to one of those places? Because if you are, I'm going to lecture you, Daniel. I use my money out of my bank account instead of the company's. 10 cents per gallon discount. Okay, so do you not have a fuel discount where you're at? How dare that movie waste so much of my time? Yeah, and yet we're watching me. I don't know what's a bigger waste of time, 2001 Space Odyssey or my video. Okay, so you should have a fuel. So you should have a fuel card, right? Guys, I don't recommend going to a company that doesn't give you some kind of fuel discount as an owner-operator. The one about chicken comes first, then the egg. The chicken can't come first because it had to be born from the egg, and the egg isn't just going to appear out of nowhere by itself. The chicken is actually a descendant of dinosaurs, and so the chicken came first. Artie says read his last comment. I never saw buildings on Mars, but have you Google mapped Antarctica? No. Can you Google map Mars? At least there's community and entertainment and some little bit of information here. It's true. Damn. Try a late 70s GMC 5-star General with no air ride. You hit a bump and everything on the truck jumped up and down. Oh, well. Desert Okie. My dad ran a cab over in the 80s as an owner-operator, and there was a loaner truck that he had. It was an old Ford. The shortest, I think the wheelbase was literally about this long. Every single bump. And that truck was like, you know, and the air release was like every 5 seconds. Psh, psh, psh. That truck, and all we had to do was go to Yuma and back to Phoenix to pick up a load, pick up a load till his truck was fixed. They only have a 10-cent discount. So you're getting a bigger discount using mud flap. Is that what you're trying to say? Why didn't you just say that? I have a better discount with mud flap, so that's what I use. Not I use my credit card or debit card, so my settlements look bigger. Delivery, Daniel, delivery. That's how that works. I have no plans to buy a new truck at this point in time. Need to pull this window down. Or not. Well, that's... back to this again. Must have a short in the window control. So check this out. This is another thing the truck's been doing. So and anybody who owns a Kenworth hates that ding because you know it means something's up. TCS fuel card. Who's TCS? Your air release noise is on point. It is. There's some weird stuff going on in Antarctica. I wouldn't doubt it. I believe, okay, so if you guys seen that movie, was it 2020 or 20? What was the year that we were supposed to have this big apocalypse? 20, had John Cusack, that movie. The end of the Mayan calendar. Isn't that what they did? They like, all the rich had these big bunkers in Antarctica, and that's where we went. Who's the speed sensor? 2012, yeah. Yeah, so that popped up. My batteries died while the truck was in the shop because they turned off the APU because obviously they didn't want it running in their shop. And so when they hooked the batteries back up, because I saw that they disconnected the battery on the ELD. I had fault codes and the whole 9 yards. And then they went away except for that one. So I'm hoping that after a few trips that'll go away. But this window acting up, I just had this fixed not too long ago. That was like a $300 job. As long as I can still roll up the window, I'm okay. I can open the door to hear when I'm backing, but if I can't close the window and it's raining, that's going to be a pain in the ass. I can run short stuff, Joplin and Rogers. I can do that. Wonder if that situation's improved any. Just got that email. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? But I think we've run out of things to say, and they still haven't come out. See, what time did I get here? I've been here an hour and a half. They said it'd be an hour and a half. Oh, by the way, I'm buying new rims and I'm putting Sensormatics on this thing too. So there's that. Probably bad switch. Switch about $70 maybe. It should be an easy enough repair to do on your own. See, people say things like that, but nothing's ever easy with me. I am not mechanically inclined at all. And I'm going to tell you a little business tip here. if you're running long haul in a high mileage truck, you better know how to do some of your own stuff, because that truck will nickel and dime you if you don't. And that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I run primarily short. I might do 1,000-mile run on occasion, like to Florida and back, but for the most part, I'm always within 300 to 600 miles of the house. And I don't put this truck through a whole lot of paces. I don't take it through the mountains of Washington or you know, 45,000 pounds through Pennsylvania. You know, I run 63 to 64 everywhere I go. I baby this truck. And not because I'm afraid of it happening, of something happening, because something's going to break, it's going to break, right? But it does help me on my maintenance. So, maintenance costs. My maintenance costs are still up there, though. I think this year I'm at 15,000 already. So, maintenance and repair. Have a great day. I like your streams, even though you think my questions are good and odd. Hey, man, whatever floats your boat, man. Buy the parts and have RD do the work for you. That is a good idea, Robert. That is a good idea. But the last time I had that switch, and it was weird, so I had to, like, if I wanted to roll the window down or up, I had to, like, open the door and do it. So there's a short going on in there somewhere. And that's the first time it's happened. So, you know, every now and then you get this gremlin in the truck and it'll mess with things. Like, every now and then I'll turn the key and nothing will happen. It won't fire up, and then I reset it, and then boom, it'll come on. So, you know, it's a... let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's a 6-year-old truck. So what happens in 6 years? Plastic goes bad, wires go bad, rubber goes bad, you know, dry rot, all that kind of stuff. Sensors go, I'm out, I'm over it. So, you know, that's something I learned with my Peterbilt. My Peterbilt was a 2009 when I bought in 2014, or no, 2016, I'm sorry. And it had 580,000 miles on it, and that was the oldest truck I'd ever driven, because Translane was good about putting me in new trucks all the time. So would I like a new truck? Maybe, but it doesn't solve all your problems. So, in fact, it can kind of compound them if you're not careful with your money. So, but if I can get a new truck for about $2,000 a month, I would do it. I would probably do it, and it'd probably be another $680, as long as it was new and I knew the whole entire history of the truck. But you're going to break it in. You're going to be the guy that replaces the clutch for the first time. You're going to be the guy that replaces, you know, all the different sensors that go out, you know, the first time. Since I've been off, I replaced DEF filter, then started working on the Bronco. Pulled dash to fix a broken bracket, replaced driver's door panel, seat base covers, and replaced all the tie rods. Awesome. Well, then I need to take a trip out to Phoenix and make have a ORD fix my stuff. You can do a video on it and everything. I'll even let him live stream it on my channel. That's how awesome that would be. Nothing like wasted the whole day. No. But I guess we've been at this for over an hour, so we're gonna cut this off. Go in and see if they got any free coffee in the coffee maker there, and I could make coffee. Oh no, I don't have any water. See, I can make coffee in the truck, but I don't have any water. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. No, point is, I've got enough work to do on my own junk. So, you think I'm concerned about your needs, RD? Whatever. So, if you guys got nothing else to talk about, we will end this feed because I am over it, as they say. Guys will have to pass your driving time to somebody else. And hopefully we'll be back out on the road tomorrow. Or, yeah, tomorrow. So with that being said, thanks for watching. And peace.